There has been more racing on this course than anywhere else in the history of water sports. You're looking at the historic Detroit Yacht Club in the background, where, if it could speak, could tell you many tales of a Bill Munsey, a Dean Chenoweth, Guy Lombardo, the Shana family. Heritage, well, it's right here in Detroit. This is the spawning ground of unlimited hydroplane racing, and it dates back to the late 20s and early 30s, where a guy by the name of Gar Wood and his riding mechanic Orland Johnson captured the hearts of America in Miss America 10. Let's go back. 57 years ago, the legendary Gar Wood, along with riding mechanic Orland Johnson, fired up 4 Packard engines and headed out for a record run attempt. 2 runs through the traps, and they produced an average speed of 124.915 miles an hour, a new record.
We're very happy this morning because we have just got back to the United States the world's record on water. Our speed was at an average of 124 and 91 miles per hour.
Band leader Guy Lombardo in his Tempo 6 appeared regularly on the Detroit River. He was quite a competitor. And Danny Foster, builder and boat designer, held court on this river. His Miss Great Lakes was also driven by the legendary Bill Munsey at the start of his career. If these waters could talk, what stories they could tell. Just a little flashback on this famous course.
And back to today now, and what's happening on this course. The Hulsett Miss Madison will lead the field in the restart of Heat 1B. Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach will be back in action. Also in the field will be the Miss Detroit, Pierre Lavigne. He's driving for Jerry Shanath. And Paddock Pools, the U7, Jerry Hopp, Al Thorison's boat.
Well, the Racing Jeff presents Mr. Pringles after the accident. It doesn't look as extensively damaged as we thought from the accident. They'll keep it in Detroit and prepare for the next race. We'll be back with more of the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit Regatta, third stop in the HFC American Hydroplane Series, the restart of Heat 1B, in just a moment.
And it red flagged it, meaning everybody stopped. Lane 1 coming up for the start. Winston Eagle, lane 2, Miss Detroit. Hulsett Miss Madison, lane 3, and it appears, Jim, that the Paddock Pools did not start.
The Gremlins biting driver Jerry Hopp in this instance as they come down toward the Garwood judges stand. And on the inside, the right of your screen, the brightly colored rocket red sled of the Winston Eagle.
Boy, this could be a real morale booster for this crew. They've had some trouble getting this boat going, but it's been getting better and better each race. And if they could get a win in their pocket, I know Larry Lauterbach and Steve Woomer and crew would be extremely pleased, because this is some river to beat. It is a river with great reputation. A good shot there as you see the Winston Eagle, leader of this race. Riding out in second place now is the Hulsett Miss Madison. Mike Hansen, the boat that's owned by the citizens and residents of Madison, Indiana, 13,000 strong. There you see the boat, and again we point out they haven't even seen this boat race yet, Jim, because it came on the circuit last year after the Madison Regatta.
After this race, we'll head for Madison, Indiana, the Ohio River. They'll get a good look at it. We're coming around to complete lap number 1. Pretty good time for the Winston Eagle. About 125 mile an hour as he comes down toward the starting line for the second time. He looks like he's just about all alone, but here is the Hulsett Miss Madison, second place, coming off of corner number 4, down by the pit area, taking it through that slop of that very dangerous corners number 3 and 4 by the Rooster Tail. Here it is. I said close to 125, not too far off.
We'll give you that one, 124.948. Here's Miss Detroit riding in third place now. This is a good opportunity for the turbine-powered Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach, the driver, to get out in front, test the waters, find out how he can run the boat. He's already watched one accident happen almost right in front of him in the last start of this race. So now he knows where the holes are, and he's going to see what his boat can do, but he has no competition around him at the moment. So although it is something of a Sunday afternoon drive, he still has the ability to judge the course a little bit better and find out by pushing the boat a little bit what he can expect from his Winston Eagle.
And pick up 400 perfect points for a first place finish. And remember, only the 5 top point getters get the run for the money. And here comes the checkered flag for the winner of the restart of Heat 1B, Steve Woomer's Winston Eagle, driven by Larry Lauterbach. Second place, coming off of corner number 4 for 300 points, will be the Hulsett Miss Madison.
So it's got to be a happy time for Steve Woomer and his crew down there. Larry Lauterbach, the driver. There you see second place for the Hulsett Miss Madison. Second to the Winston Eagle that we were just talking about. And third place will go to the Miss Detroit, Pierre Levine. There you can see Paddock Pools. A sad story for Jerry Hopp. Didn't even get to take the restart of Heat 1B. Now, here's quite a story. This is the Miss Detroit. This was a boat built for a special class of hydroplane racing. It's been converted over now to an unlimited, and it is being run with automobile power. Here's the results of Heat 1B. Winston Eagle, of course, taking the win. Miss Madison, Miss Detroit, Paddock Pools without the start. Jim is with the winner of Heat 1B.
Well, guys, it's been a little while, but you got one under your belt. How about it, Larry?
Well, that was kind of a gift there, Jim. You know, Scotty and I had a pretty good heat going in 1B early today, and he got upside down, so this is a rerun of that heat, and we hate to see Scotty get out of the race like that, boy. It's a big blow to their team and to our sport today. We lost a big, good boat, but Winston Eagle's running fine. I just took it easy out there and just made 5 laps and survived.
Steve, sitting on the shore, sometimes it's tough for an owner.
Yeah, I've been through those before, and it's not very pleasant, and it definitely takes a little of the glow off of winning this heat with that happen to Scotty, but thank God he's safe and
The canopies
good shape.
work.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt.
We move right along with our racing as we get ready for Heat 2A. Hulsett Miss Madison in this one. Mike Hansen, the driver. Also, the U7 Paddock Pools had trouble starting in the last race, but let's see if he can get going this time. The Boss Marine Sports, known as Sundeck, Ron Snyder, the driver in the U9. The U2, Oh Boy Oberto, George Woods Jr., a boat that's been very consistent. And here's the Cooper's Express, this race known as DOC Ray-Ban. And here they come for the start of Heat 2A.
As they come around the Rooster Tail turn, heading down toward the Garwood Judges stand on the inside lane, number 1, Ron Snyder in the sun deck, right in the middle of the pack, Oh Boy Oberto, and on the outside, the boat on your left is the Hulsett Miss Madison. Dick?
Good start for this totally piston-powered field, and that is a rarity in unlimited hydroplane racing today. There you see the start of Heat 2A. No turbine entries in this particular field. Paddock Pools way in the background. You can see Jerry Hopp having his problems again as Rooster Tail is down. He's looked like he may be headed back into the pit area, but he certainly is not up on plane like he wanted to be. Taking off into the lead now is Oh Boy Oberto, George Woods Jr. This is a boat to watch. It has challenged more than its share of turbines throughout last season, and he's really got it running fine this year. As you can see, he comes out a little bit light out of turn number 1, corner number 2, down the back stretch now toward the Detroit Yacht Club. Now this is where the water starts roughing up a little bit. You'll see the Yacht Club as it comes into view, and you can see where the pilings are such that it'll back the water onto the course. Boat number 2 in position is Hulsett Miss Madison. Mike Hansen, the driver, he also is on the backstretch now, about 6 boat lengths separating the leader and second place. A good run for George Woods in Oh Boy Oberto.
Not pushing it too hard. There are no turbines in the field, and George Woods knows he just wants 400 points to try to get into that winner-take-all final as he's hitting some slop, coming off of corner number 4 to compound to complete lap number 1. Here is the Miss Sundeck, driven by Ron Snyder. Here's that battle for first place. The boat on your left is Hulsett Miss Madison, trying to move up 112.233 mile an hour on our Zenith Data Systems computer as they crack into number 2 lap.
And we might say that all of our speeds being shown on the screen are lap speeds. That means it includes, in essence, 4 corners and 2 straightaways, so they have to come off it a little bit in the corners because they have to slide the boat through. There's your 3rd place entry right now, Miss DOC Ray-Ban, and Mitch Evans is having a pretty good ride in that boat. It's been very consistent through the day.
Let's tell the people that are watching this program today that 112.2 means 155 mile an hour in the straightaway to get that average speed, because they must slow down in the turns, hanging on the hook. You cannot bank water. The turns are flat. They must decrease speed.
And some problems for the Miss Sundeck. Ron Snyder having problems. He had problems earlier and had to go out of one of the heats. Now he's got him again in this one, and more problems for Paddock Pools. Jerry Hopp with the best seat in the house, but he traded for a run in the field right now.
We have over 600,000 people watching this one today on a sunny day in Detroit. The checker flag is out, Dick.
They're coming down for the win, and there's Oh Boy Oberto getting the checkered flag from the starter's tower. Second place will go to the Hulsett Miss Madison. Mike Hansen, and he'll feel good about that. They've just been getting that boat all tricked out and ready to go for the entire circuit. It's running well for the citizens of Madison, Indiana, getting ready to go down there in the next stop on this 1989 tour of Unlimited Hydros. There's the Miss DOC Ray-Ban. That's Mitch Evans, and that boat out of Evansville, Indiana, takes 3rd place in Heat 2A.
So Heat 2A is now history. Let's check the scoreboard here in Detroit, Michigan. Old Boy Alberta first, Miss Madison second, Miss DOC Ray-Ban third, Paddock Pools and Sun Deck Dick not finished. Let's go down to the pit area.
Well, George, a good run out there. You didn't have an awful lot of competition going for you off there, but that can be an advantage for preparing for later.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice, easy heat. It's one of the best ones we've ever drawn. Drove all pistons this heat, so it was kind of nice to run against people of our own caliber, more or less. Turbines are a little tough to race with, so it was kind of fun.
Jim Hendrick and Dick Crippen from the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race. And when we return, we'll look at an exciting new team. Dick Crippen had a chance to take a close look at the Circus Circus team. Dick?
Well, certainly one team that attracts a lot of attention when it comes to town is Circus Circus. You just can't miss the pink. And the man who's responsible for the overall operation of the team is Mel Larson. And Mel, this team is outstanding, and it's a new team this year already with some good plaudits to its success.
Well, they're very high, and they have been all along, and you say this is the first year for it, but they've been together now night and day for 6 months, working all winter, so it isn't like they show up the first race and they start working together. They've had to work together and under a lot of pressure, completely rebuilding 2 boats and the entire team, so it's like they've been together for 10 years because they've got almost 10 years worth of hours together.
Chip, let's talk about the team. This is a good experience.
I believe that this team is really going to be the place to be in the next 3 years. I think there's more potential here than any team I've ever been involved with.
For you to walk right into this as the crew chief on this team, you've had to have a lot of good support, and I know the team has certainly given you that.
Yeah, we have support from Mr. Bennett at Circus Circus, from Mel Larson. Chip's been supportive. The whole team as a whole has grown together to do what we planned to do at the beginning of the year, and that is build a team.
Now let's take a check on the combatants for Heat 2B. Miss Budweiser, Jim Kropfeld, looking for a victory in this heat. Pierre Levine, the Frenchman, driving Miss Detroit, the automotive-powered boat. Larry Lauterbach, looking for a 2nd consecutive heat victory here today in the Winston Eagle. And Chip Hanauer, also a winner earlier in heat action, will drive the Circus Circus.
Jim, this is going to be a battle royal, sort of a finale early in the day. These boats know that they've still got a big head-to-head match coming up later today. Winston Eagle out in lane number 3. Lane number 1 is the Miss Budweiser. Lane 2, Circus Circus. Boy, what a heads-up start that was. Circus Circus getting a little bit light in the center of your screen as they come down to turn number 1. It is Budweiser on the inside with the lead. Budweiser coming strong into the turn right now. Circus Circus is even up with the Winston Eagle. Winston Eagle is closest to you as they come through the turn.
Whoa, they are screaming through corners number 1 and 2 down the back chute here on the Detroit River. All 3 turbines. Miss Detroit, the automotive-powered boat, did not start, and we look at the leader getting very light. I don't know if he realizes he was that light coming down toward corner number 1. It's Miss Budweiser, Jim Kropfeld, leading the way, the short way around the course. He gets into the tight corners number 3 and 4, down by the rooster tail, and look at him fly.
We are seeing an exact reverse of what happened earlier today when the Circus Circus was leading. The push boat now is Circus Circus. Out in front is the Miss Budweiser. Circus Circus at a competitive lap speed at 145 miles an hour. Look at this, 144.346 for the Miss Budweiser. Jim Kropfeld is really pouring on the coals.
That is close to the record that was set just a heat ago, and they're not letting up. They're not letting up. Look at them fly as they come down by the Detroit Boat Club and head toward the Detroit Yacht Club on the eastern end of the course. Still, it's the Budweiser, but you can see the spray. Here's your 3rd place boat, the Winston Eagle, with Larry Lauterbach coming down the back chute. They're all on the same straightaway.
Lots of action, and this is exactly where the trouble starts. As they come down that back chute and hit by the Detroit Yacht Club, things start getting real loose on those boats. As you can see, the Winston Eagle holding it well as she goes into the turn now. Larry Lauterbach grabs into the turn with that skid fin, throws that second rooster tail high in the air. Look at the hop as he comes out of the turn, sliding the boat around. Meanwhile, on the other end of the course, you can see Miss Budweiser through the turn, still on her tail, is Circus Circus. Chip Hanauer is not letting up a bit. He's held it in there at less than 2 boat lengths all the way around.
A record 145.843 on the Zenith Data Systems computer. That bested the record set just about an hour ago by this boat, the Circus Circus Chip Hanauer.
Well, as weather conditions continue to be near perfect here in Detroit, a little bit of gusty wind comes up on the backstretch, and that lifts the Circus Circus high out of the water. I don't think that they're going to be able to beat that record just set by the Miss Budweiser in this heat anyway. Still 3 turbine boats going, very strong. Third place, just off the pace, is the Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach. Here's the Miss Budweiser. This is your leader. Jimmy Kropfeld took it right off the gun and has not let first place go. He is held in there, and he is held off the challenge of Circus Circus. There's the checkered flag coming out now. What a run for the Miss Budweiser. Jim Kropfeld has got to be feeling good about the way that boat is run. I don't think Chip Hanauer is disappointed at all in the performance of the Circus Circus either. He's going to take a second place here on the Detroit River.
And Dick, Bernie Little has to be happy his boat is set. 2 records, a 2.5-mile competition lap record, 145.8, on 12.5-mile heat record on a 2.5-mile course with an average speed of 142.7. Scoreboard shows Miss Budweiser first, Circus Circus second, Winston Eagle third, Miss Detroit did not start. Let's go to the pits.
Well, how does that feel, record and all?
Too fast.
That boat held beautifully out there, though, Jim.
Well, we got it nailed down pretty good. I want to play it safe. I don't want to do like poor Scott did in the other heat there. And I have to drive it real hard because we're making it very safe. And that's the way we want to run it. You know, the Detroit River's got a lot of problems out there that I know exactly where they are. So we just play it by ear and just run it. That's about all we can do.
Bernie, I know you were out here watching when Scott went, and you knew exactly what was going on with that boat, and I know you were watching your boat for the same thing.
Oh, yes, I was. But he had it really under control. That's the best ride that he's had here on the river in the boat, and Miss Budweiser's doing his thing, and so is Jim, and we'll be in there giving him one hell of a race.
The final field is set for the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit race on the HFC American Hydroplane Series. We'll have those finals next.